So I am in Bend, Oregon, and I'm really kind of excited to be here. Bend, Oregon is really the first sort of Pacific Northwest town that I would really consider kind of a Pacific Northwestern type of town that I've been in. And the trip between Burns and Bend was kind of uneventful. It's just a lot of rolling hills, and it's only moderately interesting. In fact, it was so kind of isolated that most of the time there weren't even farms. Like the area between Boise and Burns, there was a lot of farming going on there, but not on this side of Oregon, there wasn't. But suddenly, the thing that I thought was interesting was that you just kind of go from this barren, desolate, rolling hills type of landscape to where within a relatively short amount of time, you suddenly start seeing pine trees emerge. And by the time you get into Bend, it's just completely with lots of pine trees. So, in the eastern part of Oregon, it's relatively arid. And it's only on the western third where you have the Cascade Range that it becomes very green and very lush and pine trees and so on. And that part is incredibly beautiful. And that's the part that I'm really starting to head into. So I'm quite excited about that. So Bend is a neat little town. I went and did a bunch of exploring of it today. And so I took my scooter off and I ran into sort of the downtown area. So I went first thing this morning and I went to a Starbucks and I did some video editing. So the downtown Bend area is completely cute. It's absolutely darling. And the Deschutes River goes right through Bend, and there are a series of parks all along it. And there's one right in the middle of downtown Bend called Drake Park. They've turned the river into kind of a quasi pond in the middle of it called Mirror Pond. Just really, really pretty. And so I took my camera gear and I went and explored sort of the downtown area. And it turns out that Bend is having their Central Oregon Gay Pride. So there was a big festival going on. So I went down there and just walked through all that. And I thought that was a lot of fun. So this is awesome. I just happened to be here in Bend during their Gay Pride celebration in Drake Park. So I have come down here just to take a look. I have to tell you, it really is a darling town, and it's fairly upscale. So downtown Bend is darling. It's full of just restaurants and bars and pubs and boutique clothing shops and coffee shops and restaurants. And the thing that's very cool about it is you can definitely tell that it has some history here that's been through a lot of upscale renovation. Bustling, tons going on, lots of people. Some of the older architecture that was down there was incredible, like the old post office. There was an older school that's still in use that's just been kept up incredibly. That has this beautiful old architecture, and there was a theater there that looked super interesting. I just really, really liked downtown Bend. And there's something about Pacific Northwest towns, I don't know, that they have a particular feel and a particular vibe to them. The people there, I got here and there's suddenly recycling everywhere. Like in Idaho and Utah, recycling isn't such a big thing, but it is in the Pacific Northwest. And so I really like that. The thing that's incredible is there is this butte right in the middle of the city. So the Pacific Northwest has tons of volcanism, and I mentioned that in my previous video. And by the time you get out here, it is absolutely apparent that volcanism is a huge part of the Pacific Northwest, because visible from Bend, you cannot miss it. It's just a whole string of volcanoes. And there is a butte right in the middle of the town here, which I don't know exactly if it's a cinder cone or if it's not, whatever, but you can drive up around it and you can go to the top of it and have this incredible bird's eye view, 360 view of the surrounding region. And so I took my scooter up there, and that was remarkable. I actually went up there for the sunset, and the sun setting there was exquisite. And there were a lot of people up there. It was something that clearly a lot of people are aware of. In fact, there was a guy there that I talked to who had a really great camera with this huge lens on, and we were chatting for a while. And he was from Colorado and just traveling and knew about this, had heard about it, so he came up to photograph it. There were tourists from China there. This is clearly something that is known in the world of tourism, but it was incredible. So there are volcanoes there that you are seeing. There are the Three Sisters, which are the primary volcanoes, and up and down, you can't miss them. It's quite a sight to behold. I head off to Eugene tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to camp in the national forests between or not. I'm just going to play it by ear. So, thanks for watching my travel vlog here.